Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be doing day 4 in our Watercolor Christmas Card series. And today I figured we would do some Christmas ornaments. So I've got 3 little Christmas balls here, and we're going to do these, and then we'll put the strings in at the end. I just pre-drew the circles with the little circle stencil that I got on Amazon. It's just a cheap, I got it for a couple of bucks, but it's really great for drawing circles. Alright, so first things first, we're going to work on our wet and wet technique today. So we're going to go in with some clean water and just go on the top of it, and then we're going to drop our colors in. So that's what we're going to do first. I'm just going to get some nice clean water and just go all over the surface of our ornament. Now if you're not, perfect with this, that's fine. Doesn't matter, you can always go along and clean up the edge after. But I always say sometimes the beauty in watercolor is the imperfections we get with it. If it's not a perfect circle, that's okay, it lends to the handmade look. So I don't want any puddles, I'm just taking any puddles off. I want it to be nice and shiny and flat. I don't want the water to be puddling anywhere, because then we'll get some back runs and some blooms, and if you like that look, that's great. If that's what you're going for, perfect. I want it to be just a little bit more uniform. Okay. So I think that's good. I think I've got all the edges pretty good. So I think we're going to go in with, I think we'll go in with our phthalo blue. A nice bright blue. And we're just going to go right along the edge and drop this in. Now I'm just going to coax it a little bit where I want it to go, but I'm going to try to leave a little highlight here. And now, while that's still wet, I'm going to go in with some Prussian blue and just a little bit of lamp black to make a nice dark blue. And I'm going to go right around the edge with that. Just to give it some nice contrast. And I'm going to dry this off, and where I've got that little white highlight, I'm just going to kind of go just kind of in a circle and kind of coax that paint around, kind of just a little bit where I want it. Because I want it to flow, but I don't want it to flow too much, especially where that little highlight is. Okay. And I'm just going to do it just once more just to make sure that spot will stay white. Because if it's a little bit drier than the other spots, then the paint's not going to pool in that spot. Okay, so we're going to move on with our next color while that one dries. And we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to start with just some clean water and go all around the ball. Now I purposefully made my balls, you know, not touching each other. If yours wanted to be touching each other, then you would just have to wait and let them dry in between, or dry them with a hair dryer. Because if you were to go in with paint while it's still wet, then it would bleed into the other one. So that's good. So I think for this one, I'm going to do like a nice goldeny yellow. So I'm going to go in with lemon yellow hue and just fill in this like I did right around the edges. And then again, I'm just going to kind of coax it around. And I'm going to try to keep the highlight in the same spot as the other one, just because the light would be going in the same direction. Okay, and then I think I'm going to go in with some cadmium yellow hue, a little bit of cadmium yellow hue, and a little bit of cadmium orange hue, just to make it a little bit brighter. And I'm just going to drop this right along the outside like we did with the blue one. And we're going to let those colors mix. Now again, I'm going to get most of the water off that, and I'm just going to go around that highlight and kind of get some of that paint to start mixing just a little bit. And I kind of like that. Okay. So again, for our last one, we're going to go in with just clean water. I like to do the edges and then fill in the middle. Okay, now for this one I think we're going to do a nice red one just to kind of round it out. So go in with my cadmium red deep hue. I think we'll do this cadmium red deep hue. And I might just put a touch of cadmium red hue in there. Okay, so cadmium red, deep hue. And again, right around the edges. You can use whatever colors you want. Doesn't have to be the same. Your ornaments can be in whatever size you want. They don't all have to be round ones. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with some alizarin crimson red. Just a nice dark red, so you can see the difference between those two there. It's a lot darker. And again, just around the outside, just get a little bit more water there. And I might get just a touch of black in there too, that lamp black, just for a little bit more contrast. Okay. And again, I'm going to get that dry and just kind of start moving that paint around. So the reason we can do this and we're not getting blooms is because our brush is drier than the paint on the paper. If we went in with a really damp brush, really wet brush, then it's just going to cause all that water to create some blooms. Okay, and I just want to go in just with a little bit more, just a little bit darker on the edges there. So just bringing that just a touch in. Just to create a nice little shadow. And I'm just moving the paint around, just playing with it. And just one more time, I'm going to go in and just try to make sure that that spot stays lighter than the rest, moving the paint back. Creating our little highlight there. Okay, so I'm going to leave that alone and I'm going to let those dry, and then we'll come back with our next step. Okay, so now that these are dry, what I have here is some Winsor and Newton ink, and I've got some in gold and silver. So I figured we'll go in with this and do our little hangy parts with that, because that would look really nice. So I think I'll do the silver first, the silver for the blue one. And I've just got a size 2 brush here, and I'm just going to pick it right out of the container. And you want to give it a good shake before you do this. And we're just going to do our little ornament holder. And then the circle part. Okay. That's the silver one, and I think I'll do the other two in the gold. there's our hangy parts. Alright, so now when that's dry, we can do our little strings to attach them. Okay, so now that the ink's dry, we can go in and do the little strings that will attach them. And I've just got this old plastic ruler here, and I'm just going to be using the Prismacolor fine liner marker, and this is in 005. It's a nice fine line, so we're just going to find the middle of it, line it up. And do our little string. Now if you want to keep this with the silver and gold, you can do that. Or if you want to do it in watercolor, you can do that. So that's our card for today. A quick and easy little Christmas ornaments card. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please hit the like button and be sure to subscribe for more Christmas cards. Thanks for watching.